AJ Dybantsa versus Darryn Peterson. Battle for the number 1 draft pick. We've got BYU at Kansas. Let's get into it. Welcome into another edition of the pod. This is the KC Sports Authority podcast right here on YouTube, where you could be checking us out live right now, which we'd greatly appreciate that. Smash that like and subscribe button below if you haven't done so already. You can also check us out on Spotify, where you can listen to us on the go. Give us a follow: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KCSA Pod. Well, fellas, we have a monster game this weekend in the Fieldhouse. Number 13 BYU comes to town, take on the number 14 Kansas Jayhawks. And of course, really, this is the battle of Darryn Peterson versus AJ Dybantsa. We've got the 1A and 1B when it comes to recruiting throughout most of this offseason. Obviously, we would like to argue Darryn Peterson is the best player in college basketball, the number 1 presumed draft pick, top freshman. But Dybantsa's got an argument. He's been incredible for BYU so far. So we got to talk about that game for sure. We'll for sure dive into the matchup there, look at KU's schedule next couple of weeks. But we'd be remiss if we did not go back and talk about the absolute butt whooping that took place in Manhattan late Saturday at the hands of Melvin Council and Trey White. Austin, I saw you tweeted out that it was K-State's worst loss at home to Kansas in 24 years, losing by 24.
How great is that?
Melvin Council wabashing at the end of that game will live in KU highlight history.
Love it.
If it is not in tomorrow's, or if it is not in Saturday's pregame warm-up video already, I'll be disappointed, first off. But what a game. I mean, we were texting about it. That game ended exactly how I was hoping as a KU fan, all for the disrespect that we put on that program the final 10 minutes of that game.
I loved every bit of it, and they deserved it.
God, it's one of those things where it's like you can't even look at Melvin and say, "Oh, that wasn't very classy of you. Oh, that was in poor taste." No, it wasn't. Not when it's against K-State, you guys. Not when it's against our biggest rival in the Big 12. And man, I mean, I kind of hate how there was even a monkey on our backs to begin with, but it's great to have the monkey off our backs. It's great to have, us back in the win column in Manhattan because we lost there the last 3 years in a row. How embarrassing is that? Like,
it's been tough. It's been about the only bright spot to the Jerome Tang tenure at K-State.
God, it really has, and that's part of the reason why he's kept his job this long. And funny enough, after that game, I mean, the chatter's already been there, but after that game, it's just been amplified even more. K-State fans, like K-State, they want him gone. They are like, Jerome Tang, out of here, get out of here. And if I can pull from my old bag, Jerome Tang, you're done, because nobody wants him there anymore except probably KU fans. Because hey, you know what? I think we can right the ship with our games in Manhattan moving forward. I will take a lot of years of mediocrity, with K-State. I will gladly take that. I love the fact that they hate him now. I really do. It's just that's probably the icing on the cake.
They're certainly going nowhere fast as a program.
Yeah, I think at first we made that game a lot harder on ourselves than it really needed to, and it was awfully too close. And then you have this guy who is averaging 3 points a game, comes in and knocks in 4 3-pointers like in a row. Like, that's ridiculous. And then we tightened it up halfway in the second half, and somehow we just went on this, monster run to end the game. And like I said, I was very happy that they ran the scoreboard on them, and they deserved it. Like JB said, the last 3 years have been pretty embarrassing. And, given, what's gone on in the rivalry all around, I mean, football, that game back in October, I feel like we got served a little bit of retribution.
It was nice. I was going to ask you guys, what was the best part of that win? Was it Melvin wabashing? Was it Trey White dunking it? Was it Melvin stealing the ball when he didn't need to? Was it the belt
My favorite part was Flory, friggin' throwing it down. Like I don't even know how many dunks he had. I swear he had like 5. But I mean, the ones towards the end were, just I loved it.
That guy was 7'2", and he's dunking on him, and they're getting locked up, like locking each other around the neck. That dunk, like, it's hard for me. The older I get, it's harder for me to like watch a dunk in real time and be like, oh my God, like that was the best dunk I've ever seen. It's way easier to have those kinds of emotions when you're still a fan or rather still a student, and or maybe you're just recently graduated and you're still like the super fan. We think of the best dunks in KU's history, and I think about Wayne Selden. I think about Jamari Traylor and his dunk at Texas. Oh my gosh, like those dunks will forever live in my memory. And I'm genuinely curious if we think that Flory's dunk in that game is going to be on that same level. I don't know. Like I said, the older I get, I feel like I'm more out of tune just with like the appeal of a dunk or the lasting instant classic feeling of a dunk. What do we think? Was that like all-timers?
I don't think you see that many aggressive over-the-top dunks in college basketball because you just don't see it as often. So when you get one, it's fantastic. Yeah, Flory throwing that down was huge. He was a monster. I mean, just going through the box score, Flory 21 points on 10 of 13 from the floor, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. Bryson Tiller 16 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds. Melvin Council, of course, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists. Dang near had a triple-double. Trey White continues to do his thing, 13 points. It was probably one of his least efficient games of the year, but he still goes 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And El Marco probably had his best, if not second best game in a Kansas uniform, going 5 for 7, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 19 points. Doesn't get any assists, but he definitely took over a lot of that game.
That was like the quietest. I felt like it was actually the quietest 19 points I've ever seen from a Kansas player. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
I was all for it. So everything about minus the first half where K-State actually was keeping in it because they were just launching threes, just chucking them up left and right, everything going in.
Yeah.
The rest of that game was a lot of fun. We held PJ Haggerty, I think, in check pretty well. For the most part, he still got his 20+, but it's because he gets free throws left and right. All around, love it. The post-game interactions, the whatever you want to call it in the handshake line, Tang grabbing Melvin and kind of turning him,
pushing him aside a little
just
bit.
all for the disrespect, because this week Jerome Tang has just continued to get worse and blamed college basketball for his own failures as a coach. You gotta love, dude. Shot Man 11 play GTA 4 GTA. I am not a GTA guy. I play a lot of 2K and it's football right now. Broke out Call of Duty actually last week because I was just kind of feeling it, but I was never a GTA guy. Either of you?
No,
not really.
I never got into GTA because I was an Xbox guy, and for the longest time it was PlayStation exclusive.
Same.
Still am an Xbox guy. So
same here.
2K and Call of Duty were my bread and
butter.
I
do remember playing, I think it was San Andreas, a decent-ish amount at somebody's house when it came out. But nope, I've been 2K through and through, and I've played 2K so much this year already that I'm bored. I don't know what else to do on 2K until Giannis gets traded.
Oh my God.
Which that'll be crazy. Gotta break Spencer out of hibernation for an NBA trade deadline.
He's going to join the Lakers, you guys. He's joining the Lakers. I'm telling you.
He'll go
to LA.
He might, but that's not happening. I wouldn't want. If I was Giannis, I wouldn't want to go play there. It wouldn't make sense.
No.
I'd go to Miami or New York.
It's not the best organization.
Not the best, but what is the best organization is this Kansas Jayhawk men's basketball program.
That's true.
Top of the Big 12 right now. Obviously, Arizona they just continue to beat anybody and everybody, coming off of a win against BYU the other night. Yep. And they look incredible. But KU's really right there. They have locked in defensively the last couple of games. Offense has been picking up, and still doing some of it without Darryn Peterson, but we've actually had a couple games in a row with DP on the court. So we've kind of seen some of the chemistry build, and it's all coming to a massive, point this weekend. BYU, one of top freshmen in the country, AJ Dybantsa, coming in. The last time these two guys faced off, 58 points for Darryn Peterson, 49 for Dybantsa. They've matched up a couple times and have had electric games. You're talking about the two best freshmen in the country, 1 and 2, 1A, 1B, however you want to rank them, flip-flopping all offseason coming into the year as far as who ended up as the number one prospect. Two guys fighting for the number one pick in the upcoming NBA draft. You don't want to say like this is for the number one draft pick, because it's in reality it's not. There's so much college basketball left, and they could face again later, Big 12 tournament, whatnot. But this definitely feels like all eyes are on. This is your opportunity to solidify yourself as the number one, the top dog in college basketball for this upcoming draft.
Austin, what do you feel like I know you just graduated, but you're probably still very close and probably still have a lot of friends who are still students at KU. What's the student vibe right now with this game? I feel like this game is, for all intents and purposes, this is the game that I think most fans have had circled on their calendars for the entire season. This is it. Like, this is the game that we all wanted to see. So, or at least from my perspective, is that how everyone else is still feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they think that this is going to be the loudest game of the year, and I totally see that happening. Yeah, I mean, you saw the videos of everybody, showing up for lottery.
I still follow the KU camping Twitter account and see all their updates and how people try to get out of camping and end it early. And I'm like, man, back in my day, back in JB and I's day,
that's right.
The camping's so much more relaxed now than it used to be.
Yeah.
You can vote to end camping so early now. You couldn't do anything back then.
It's like there's a certain time, I think, like it's
they tweeted it out that
like,
there was
or
they
if there's
tweeted
like
out the other day.
Or if there's like another, like if there's like a women's basketball game going on or something, like they of course suspend it. But I saw the videos of everybody lining up, waiting for a lottery to start and all that stuff. Obviously, that was incredible to see. I think the students, for games like this, here's my piece of advice. If you're going to show up to Allen Fieldhouse, for lottery, for a game like BYU, I would highly suggest getting to Allen Fieldhouse no later than, 5:30 in the morning. Get there 30 minutes early. It's, the concourse area when you walk in is going to be super congested, right? It's always going to be like that when you walk in there. So you want to, get through that, as soon as you can. And of course, get your group signed in, at least have one person from your group get there at 5:30. So that way you're not waiting in line, waiting to sign in and all that stuff. So that way you're not frantically, trying to get there before 6 o'clock. And I did hear that they let people in after 6, and you guys know what the rule is. Like, if you're not in the building, by 5:59.59 seconds, then you can't, go in there and participate in lottery. You have to wait till it's over and, put your name up, behind everybody else. So
Adam, this is true fandom right there. Failing your class for a game. That's fandom right there.
That's awesome. Sorry,
I do say. I will say this: there are parts of camping I definitely don't miss. Like, I am not a morning person, so I absolutely hated lottery every time right after, especially when it was a Monday night, 8 o'clock game, goes into overtime. You don't get out of there till 11:30, and then you have to be back at the field house at 5:30. That sucked, but
there have been some media outlets that like third-party independent media outlets that have been posting the video of everyone getting into Allen Fieldhouse for lottery, and they're like, oh my God, Kansas fans are crazy. They're camping out for the game on Saturday, and it's Tuesday. And people don't understand how the camping system works. You start the day after the previous game, right? You go to Allen Fieldhouse as a group, as an entire camping group. First thing in the morning, you get your group number, and you pull literally numbers out of a hat, and you get your group number, and yeah, but then everything from then on is just someone has to be in Allen Fieldhouse during daylight hours for random roll calls, and you say yes, we're still here, and your entire camping group does it, and it's great, and it's efficient, and it's not as crazy as it sounds, but how rewarding is it when you can be the number one?
Never
group?
got there. Never got
I
that
was
close.
once. The Bucks group was.
Nice.
Me and Keegan were in the same fraternity. For anyone that doesn't know, and we were part of. There was one year where we were the number one group, the first camping group in, but I think it was before Keegan's time.
Yeah, it was before my time because I think the closest I ever got was like 6 or 7. It was probably over winter break.
Of course, it had to be 6 or 7.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
I don't know
Come
if you
on,
guys,
Keegan.
I don't know if you guys remember
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
JB was talking about, third-party news outlets posting videos and everybody freaking out like, oh, my God, they're already camping out. They're not going to class, all that stuff. Do you guys remember – I don't know if you remember this, but when we played UConn during the 2023 season, I posted a video of everybody, getting ready for lottery. I don't know if y'all remember that.
It sounds vaguely
Maybe.
familiar.
Yeah, so it got big, and I had Bleacher Report, ESPN, all these different outlets DMing me, asking me if they can, use my video to share on their platforms. I was like, sure, why not? Just as long as you give me credit, I don't really care. But I was dealing with the same thing. I had messages from all different kinds of people like, oh, do you guys just sit it out in Fieldhouse all day long and not go to class? You don't go home and take a shower? You don't do your homework? Like, no. And I just had to reinforce.
Sometimes coach brought you pizza.
And over again. It's just like, I get it. It's confusing for the people on the outside. I totally understand that. But like, there's rules and people still go to class. Okay. And we take showers and we go and we sleep in our own freaking apartment.
I will say I regret the several times I think the one year I camped the most, I was so bad at being like prepared in between. Never took a chair. Fully regret that every single time. I just backpack and sat on the floor, waited for my legs to go numb from being uncomfortable, try and get comfy because I was never there long. Like I don't think I ever had a camp longer than maybe 2 hours at a time most of that year. But definitely regret not taking a fold up chair with me or like some of these people, man, they were kids, plugging in TVs and Xboxes and you're just hanging out all day. Camping's wild. I never was lucky enough to be there when somebody was bringing food by. Like coach would, bring in pizza sometime or send the players out there with food. Never was around for that, but I do miss roll calls and just sitting there trying to get through an entire roll call, laughing hysterically at the different names and things. So I guess I'll pose this to you guys. If you were camping this year,
oh no,
what would be your camping group? No, or what would be your group like? First off, philosophy.
Oh no.
Would you use the same camping group name every game, or would you switch it up based on the game?
It was always the same name every game.
Yeah.
It was always the same name every game. But man, I'm glad I wasn't a student when like Grady Dick and Hunter Dickinson.
Big Dick Energy.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, Big Dick Energy. Like there was 100% a camping group with that name. Who even? I don't know. I've begun to think about what kind of combinations we could have.
Well, now, right now, I would have to go with something towards Melvin Council or a dog, like the Dog Pound.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is lame because it's super easy, but something with Melvin.
Hey, shout out to group number 2 for the game on Saturday. Their group name is God effing D it. If we aren't effing good at effing basketball this effing year, I'm gonna effing Bill myself F me and F my effing.
Oh my goodness. Do you have to listen? Do you have to listen from you?
I have it right here. Yeah.
Nice. Read off a couple.
Okay. The group number 1 is fogged up and ready. El Save our Timo. Let's see. Cole's cash. That's pretty good.
That's good. Hey, shout out Cole. Hopefully he can find minutes at some
Oh my
point
God,
again. That would be nice.
I cannot repeat some of these word for word. I mean, I repeated group number 2's name, but I didn't use vulgar language to the best of my ability.
Oh
but,
yeah, there's always the ones that are.
You don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah. Wait. I'm trying to. No. Okay, I can't read these. No, I can't.
We're gonna get demonetized if we.
They can't. They're all inappropriate, but that's the fun part about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Good old camping. Well, let's get into the matchup. BYU 17-3 on the year. They've really been in every single game. Texas Tech was probably their worst game. They lost by 13 on the road. Texas Tech, one of the hardest places to play, of course. But just coming off of a tough loss against Arizona, so you think they're going to be pretty locked in this weekend, needing a bounce back because they're sitting 5th in the Big 12 race. They lost at the beginning of the year to UConn by 2. But BYU, good team. Very good team. They average a lot of points. They score from everywhere. They picked up Rob Wright in the transfer portal from Baylor, pairing him with Dybantsa, Richie Saunders. They can really score the ball from all over the place. BYU is one of those up-and-coming programs as they have been the last couple of years, and they're still doing that under a new head coach, Kevin Young. They're a scary team, not going to lie. They're scary.
AJ Dybantsa, I mean, listen, that I've watched a little bit of his highlights lately, and because I really don't keep up with everybody else as much as I used to, but that dude's unbelievable. I mean, he can shoot from anywhere. When you're dealing with a guy, standing tall at 6'9", I mean, sheesh, man. I mean, you're talking about a guy that can shoot the three, get underneath the basket, and he's really physical, has a ton of length, obviously, and man, he's going to get some open looks Saturday. I can already tell.
And it's tough not to argue that he's having a better season than Darryn Peterson so far. Now, albeit he's been healthy the entire year, but looking at the stat lines, I mean, his numbers are quite impressive. Not that Darren's aren't impressive because they still are, but Dybantsa's doing it.
The per game numbers are way better on AJ's side, but I think if you look at per 40, I think Darryn Peterson is
right now
out of this planet.
AJ's averaging 32 minutes a game. Darren's averaging 27 minutes a game in 10 games played versus AJ's 20, of course. But averaging 23.6 from the floor, 6.7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.3 steals. Not bad there. Shooting over 50% from the floor, 32% from the three-point line. He does turn the ball over at a decent rate. Averages almost 3 turnovers a game. That's not good for him.
But we don't do a good job of forcing turnovers on our end.
We haven't. That was something I wanted to mention is even though we've been improving defensively and rebounding, we still don't really force a lot of turnovers and get in transition. And you need to do that against a team that's this capable because they've got 3 guys averaging north of 17. Richie Saunders is averaging 18.8, shooting 40% from the three-point line. Rob Wright, 17.5 points a game, also shooting 43% from the free throw line, three-point line. So they've got some snipers they can launch. Collectively as a team, they are averaging 86.7 points a game, 35% from the three-point line. They rebound the ball pretty well. They're a good team. They are a good team that on paper is going to make this matchup insane. So I'm glad this is at home for sure. Only downside, or not downside, but like one negative, like it's college game day in town, big time matchup, but this is a 3:00 tip off. It feels weird that it's a 3:00 early afternoon college game day when it should be Saturday night prime time, all eyes on you. But
agreed.
I was trying to say something and I had myself muted. I forgot. Give me a minute.
Oh, lost the thought. But battled the 2 best freshmen in college basketball. Darryn Peterson coming off the ankle injury about a week and a half ago at Colorado. He's going to play. We said that last week that we all anticipated he was going to play this game. I don't think he's going to be limited in any capacity. I think it's 100% green light, go. Any concern there coming off of the ankle on how he will look in this game, or any concern that he might be pushing it too hard or forcing things because of the caliber of matchup.
He could.
Maybe. I mean, he has, obviously KU's had, they're going to have 6 days or they've had it, to rest and practice and all that stuff. So you hope that the extended time off, pays dividends. But yeah, what I was going to say was I'm just glad that we're not playing.
I just got a lot of glitching right there.
What happened?
I don't think any. I think we're good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you guys are good. It's just it's freezing up on my end, going slow.
Oh, okay. I was in case you didn't hear, I was trying to get I'm just glad we're not playing this team at BYU this year.
Oh my gosh, I think that would be 100% a loss. Like, the beauty of this game.
Yeah, that was one of the worst games we've ever seen last year.
We got away with it. I mean, last year's game.
And that's why I feel good.
Team apart.
KU typically shows up quite well in these types of home matchups against top teams, and they're playing really well right now as a team. Everyone seems locked in. I've looked at the statistics. I mean, KU does trade off a little bit when Darryn plays versus without. And we've talked about it that when Darren's not playing, the rest of the team takes it to another level, especially behind Melvin. But I'm looking forward to this. Like again, I think JB and I talked about it on another podcast this week. Shout out Gerald for having us on all the time. But this is going to give me vibes of that Oklahoma matchup. Frank Mason, Devontae Graham, Wayne Selden going off against Buddy Hield. Now in this case it's 1v1. But then you remember you've got a guy like Melvin Council and Floyd Badunga. This could be just an absolute firepower game. And I still feel like I give the edge to Darryn, especially at home. But him outplaying and outscoring AJ, because Trey White is mostly going to be defending AJ, and he's been good. I don't think you're going to slow him down, but
well, yeah. I mean, he's going to get his. Everyone's going to get theirs. I didn't say this on Gerald's podcast earlier this week, but I had this weird flashback after we went off air of Andrew Wiggins versus Jabari Parker. That kind of shows how old I am. But Andrew Wiggins versus Jabari Parker
versus 2.
Yeah, and Jabari Parker turned out to be a complete and total dud of a basketball player. Let's
Didn't have the knees.
Yeah, let's hope that AJ Dybantsa is a dud. I mean, I don't think he will be. But my fingers are crossed and everything. I just hope we win this game. I really do. This feels like not only. I mean, is it the biggest game that we've had pretty much all year? But it's a must win. I think if you want to
ask, do you consider it a true must win?
If we want to contend for the Big 12, yeah, I think we're still right. I mean, we are right there, you guys. Like the Big 12 is tough, and I understand Arizona is undefeated right now. That can change if we win, and I don't know if they'll drop a game before us. They probably won't. But if we can hand them their first loss. And then if they can stumble just one time, we could tie Arizona for the title by the end of the Big 12 play. I mean, we are right there. It can happen. And we were picked to finish probably 5th or 6th. And
yeah, I think it was 5th sounds right. Like right now, standings, Arizona 8-0 in league play. And then you basically have 6 teams all within a game of each other. Houston and Texas Tech are both 6-1. Iowa State 6-2, and they've been slipping up. BYU, KU 5-2, then UCF, West Virginia 5-3. So yeah, you are right there. And of course, we know this 5-game stretch KU's about to enter is one of the toughest in the conference and college basketball as a whole, where you're playing 4 of the 5 matchups are top 25 teams. Yep. So this really, I don't know if I call it must win per se, like you are, but it's definitely a barometer style game to be at the top of the Big 12. But it comes at a great time because of just the rhythm KU's been in, and like this is the best time for this 5-game stretch where it feels like KU's starting to get over the hump of learning to play with Darryn first off, but then starting to lock in on the things that they've been trying to get better at defensively, rebounding, shot selection, that kind of stuff. And in the next 2 weeks, KU could be right there at the top of the Big 12, coming down the final stretch of February, the big month of February that it'll be. I don't know if Arizona's going to slip up because, man, they look really good. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at the Arizona State game as a one they're going to look over Saturday night.
Yeah.
So why not throw some money on Arizona State to pull off the upset?
Please.
You know how I see it, though? Arizona, they always slip up in March. So why can't they slip up in Feb? Right? They always come on. They always if you fast forward to bracket season and when we do our brackets, if you put Arizona as your national champion, you will be wrong.
Yep.
Hot take. JB's hot take.
It's not a
Arizona
hot take.
Is it? I don't know. I mean,
not really.
They're probably going to be the number 1 overall seed, and everyone's like 50% of brackets are going to be putting Arizona national champion. Arizona national champion. No, they always slip up in March. I don't know why. It's March. I guess that's why. But they always slip up.
That's why I love college basketball, because March Madness is the hardest tournament to win.
It is.
Anybody can get hot. But getting into this matchup, do we feel good about where KU is defensively to go up against a team that has as much firepower as BYU? Like I said, they got 3 guys averaging north of 17. Those 3 guys are always going to get theirs, but they still have several other guys averaging. They've got 3 other guys averaging 6 to 8 points. Like they can still spread it around a little bit. They play a relatively deep team. They play about 9 to 10 guys on average. Some of those guys get a couple minutes, but they're a pretty deep team. They like to get out and run, and they look to score every chance they get. I don't know if I'm concerned, like, if this game becomes a shootout, can KU handle it? Because I think we've seen them enough this year where they've had to be in a shootout. But I am concerned that if BYU is hitting shots consistently and early, it's going to be a long afternoon. Because they're a tough team to. I mean, like I said, even in their losses, Texas Tech's the only team that has slowed them down at all.
Go watch the tape, Bill. Watch that Texas Tech tape.
Yeah, I don't really feel that confident in our efforts defensively. I mean, it's going to be a high-scoring game, no doubt about it.
Honestly, I'm almost more concerned about Richie Saunders than I am AJ, because our ability to not cover the three-point line, which is weird. I saw somebody else talk about this week. KU, according to Ken Palm's, like a top 15 three-point defense team in the country, which, like, watching games, it's hard to say, but like teams really do miss a lot of threes against them. They just also give up a ton of threes. But shooting percentage-wise, teams are not shooting well as a whole. They're just getting a lot of threes up. So obviously, if you take 35 threes and you make 10 of them, that's not great shooting percentage, but that's still 10 threes you made.
Wasn't Derek Johnson out there saying something about specifically corner threes with Kansas?
Yeah,
specifically corner threes. We're at like the 13th percentile in making them, and we're in the 13th percentile of defending them. So it's like anyone who wants to beat Kansas should just shoot a lot of corner threes, and then you're golden.
I didn't know this stat until earlier today too. This is the best 3-point defense. That's a crazy stat, because it's hard to believe that just watching the games.
Adam tweeted me this during the Colorado game or the K-State game. I forgot which one, but I was like, why do I find that so hard to believe? Because it doesn't look like it, but I mean, it's great, I guess.
Well, and K-State really cooled off in the second half of that game, but yeah, it's just teams get a lot of threes up, and because of that, they also get a lot of second chance points because we don't crash the boards quite as hard. But hitting threes in Allen Fieldhouse is a whole different story too, with the way this place is going to be juiced up. I really do like how we look defensively. I still have my concerns actually with Darryn on the court, because we are 10 points worse defensively with him on the court. We give up 10 points more per game with him on the court than without. And I don't know if that's a direct correlation of anything he's doing. I think it's more about matchups and the teams he's played against. but this team has done a better job figuring out how to lock in defensively without him. I don't know what the matchups are going to look like because Dybantsa is going to play a lot of the 4, and I really do not want to see Bryson Tiller spend much time on him.
No.
Because that could be scary. And not that Bryson's a bad defender. He's a freshman who's still learning that part of it, and he is athletic, but he's not a good matchup for Dybantsa. And now the nice thing though is BYU's not really all that big. They've got a lot of 6'8", 6'9" guys, but they're not like huge, overpowering physical presence in the paint. It's a lot of AJ at the 3 and the 4.
Could be a big Flory game.
Could be. Which, I mean, we got to talk about Flory. I think we've said this several times throughout this year, and I'll say it again. As much as this team's ceiling has to do with Darryn Peterson, this team is night and day different when Flory is humming along. Like, Flory's having one of the best statistical seasons a Jayhawk has had in a long time at the 5 spot, consistently wise. You know, he's going to rival Doak for shooting percentage by the end of the year. But like when Flory's on, man, he looks really good. And this team's really hard to beat. And the several games we've lost or the games we haven't looked good in, it's usually been because Flory's only got 3 or 4 shots up and hasn't been able to find his presence. But the way Flory's playing right now, he looks hard to defend. He's eating up blocks in the middle, spacing the floor well, rim running, pick and roll game. That you feel really good. Like, I think if we were talking about this game 3 weeks ago, I think we'd have a lot more questions and concerns because this team did not look that good 3 weeks ago. Again, without Darryn Peterson for most of that, but you feel like you're catching BYU at the right time for yourselves.
Yeah, best way to put it, catching us at the right time, and it's one of those. Excuse me. It's one of those games where, honestly, as far as prediction wise, I could see a lot of different scenarios here. I could see, like, if we lose, it's going to be a defensive battle on both ends, but toward the end, BYU just hits their shots and we don't. If we win, it's because it's a shootout and we get a friendly whistle or whatever you want to. Sorry, we get a friendly whistle, whatever you want to say, and I don't know, the magic in Allen Fieldhouse is flowing, and we win the game, and it's a decently high-scoring game. The third option is almost like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because you mentioned Buddy Hield earlier. What if this turns into like a triple OT thriller, just like KU Oklahoma 1 versus 2? Man, because that. I'm terrified of that. Now, if it becomes a triple OT thriller, I think we win that too. But man, I don't know where to start with predictions. I don't know if you wanted to cover anything before we talk about score predictions.
I don't have a lot else other than maybe expectations for Darryn in this game. Like, this to me obviously feels like a game that you need him down the stretch in the second half. And everyone has talked about how, he could go off for 30 or 40 any given night. Yeah, but he never plays the second half long enough to get going offensively. So he could score 23 in the first half and then, doesn't play much in the second half. So, like, I still think there's that part that concerns you as a fan, that Darren's not 100% back to game shape, or that he can handle a full workload. I think that's the legitimate concern. But this team has figured out how to withstand moments without Darryn on the court, whether it's Trey White stepping up, hitting a couple shots, Melvin completely taking over the game, Flory looking solid, or El Marco this last game being aggressive and tacking downhill. It's like I'm not as concerned there, but I would love, like, I think most KU fans looking at this matchup, AJ versus Darryn, why not go off for 35 or 40? Just get a 40 burger, keep shooting, keep scoring. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
How many NBA scouts are going to be watching this game? How many? I mean,
tons.
This is
all of them.
I mean, it's college game day for heaven's sake, but
yep.
Yeah. But it's 1 versus 2. It's no one's talking about Boozer at number 1 anymore. It's Darryn or it's AJ. That's what it is. And you're right to say that it's not going to necessarily define who ultimately gets picked number 1 in June, but I think I think the guys have to be thinking about. I think AJ and Darryn have to be thinking about that in their head. This might just resonate with the right people, the right executives up top in the NBA. This could be that game. I mean, how often do you get to see talents like that go against each other? Man, I mean, they are. This is the best freshman class we've had in many, many years. And earlier you mentioned that Darryn and AJ are two of the best freshmen in college basketball. They're, if not freshmen, I think they're honestly the two best players in college basketball as a whole. Yeah. And man, it's going to be a treat to see. So I don't know. As far as a prediction, if I kind of jump straight into mine, I want to say, and look, call me a homer, we're going to win. I don't think it'll be a triple OT. I don't think it'll be OT at all. If it is, Darryn Peterson's not going to play in overtime. But
Melvin Council show down the stretch.
It'll be the Melvin show.
I mean, honestly, that's how these games are. They're almost predictable.
Yeah,
Melvin takes over at the 10-minute mark and just puts the team on his back and closes it out.
For some reason, I feel like we're looking at like a 84-78 KU.
Actually, I was going to pull up. What is the spread on this right now?
JB doesn't make his predictions off of the spreads. I just follow my heart. That's all I do.
See if I can find us a line.
Which is inevitably going to change when there's pre-game comments. Oh, Darren's, hit or miss. Oh.
My guess is it's probably KU 3.5. Maybe 2.5. Because I mean, you could still argue that BYU is the better team, just at resume and success. Let's see if FanDuel has it yet. Oh well, keep going. Yeah, keep going on your predictions. How about?
I should amend it. Should I say 80 or 81 for maybe it's a 3-point game, 84-81.
3.5 point favorite. Over unders 161.5. So they have this. Oh, I'm reading that wrong. I'm sorry. Over-under is 158.5. So they have this a little bit lower scoring, and that both teams' defensive abilities slow it down just a touch.
For me, I don't believe it. I think
first team to 80 wins.
And it's all right. I'll just change it based off what you said. I'll just change it to 84-80 KU.
Well, I'm trying to think here. I mean, I anticipate this game being high scoring, like I said earlier. Man, I'm feeling a somewhere in the 80s as well. But I am going to pick KU just because it's at home. Honestly, a loss wouldn't shock me. Looking at the conference schedule before, conference play began, I looked at this game and I was like, this game could be a loss. And so, but with the way that they're playing right now and with how things are going, I think KU will come out on top, and I'm gonna go with KU 87, BYU 82.
I like
high scoring. I feel like
I think it will be.
Something about this has me feeling lower 70s.
Okay.
Afternoon game, shots aren't falling. To grind it out, get to the free throw line. Teams are both super amped up, hyper focus on the two best players on the court, and it just like goes through some stretches of struggle. So I'm gonna go I'll go 74-70.
Really? Oh,
okay. KU ekes it out into the game. And that feels too low scoring, but with how capable BYU is.
Mine.
Especially with how capable BYU is. But I think KU's at a right spot defensively, and they're playing physical. So I like that. Well, let's end with looking at the rest of the schedule. So obviously you got BYU Saturday. Doesn't get any easier after that, though, because you're quick turnaround. Monday night, Texas Tech on the road, 8 o'clock. Completely feels like a loss style game coming off of BYU. Win or lose
I'm not going to
Saturday.
celebrate Texas Tech winning if they do, okay?
Yeah,
Better not.
win
Get that
or
out.
lose
No, I'm
Saturday.
going to be very upset if Kansas loses. Okay.
Tech Monday night is tough. KU has also kind of struggled with Texas Tech the last couple of years. I think they've got one win in the last 5 years down there. I think in 2020. I'm sure Adam will tell me this in a second if he's still watching. I want to say we won in 23. The year right
Yikes.
after the national championship, and then have lost every year since.
We
Have
beat
not
them.
played.
It was the year after we won the national championship. We won by 3. And I specifically remember what happened. I think we were up 73-72. Texas Tech had it, and they went for a layup. They missed it. And KJ Adams, I believe, got fouled, and then he made both free throws, and KU won by 3. And there was a whole thing at the very end, like, oh, the refs, sold it. They helped KU, all that crap. I don't know if you guys remember, but
Yeah, that sounds familiar now. Because the only other game I can really think of is all the way back to, well, I think pretty sure Ochai had a game winner in Tech. And then Andrew Wiggins game winner.
2020, Ochai had the game winner.
And I remember Wiggins hit like a half-court shot to go into halftime.
Yeah,
against Tech on the road.
Going back here because obviously Tech guy.
DeJuan leading the way with 17. Wild.
Well,
what a breath of fresh. I mean, I love DeJuan Harris as a whole. What a breath of fresh air it is to have a guy like Melvin Council run the point.
Yeah,
just completely different styles.
I'm going to throw this up here because Sully, we were talking about you. We actually mentioned you in Gerald's podcast 2 nights ago. We were like, man, where's Adam Sullivan when you need him? I thought I saw a stat. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you can. I thought I saw a stat that said that Kansas has never even hosted a number 1 team in Allen Fieldhouse. Then maybe these stats are one and the same. I believe it that Kansas has never beaten a number 1 in Allen Fieldhouse. I would love for the chance to play the number 1 team in Allen Fieldhouse and win. And if we have hosted and lost in the past, that is one record I would love to break and put away because, man, that's going to be one heck of a game. But let me know if KU has ever even hosted.
The Arizona one I can definitely remember in my mind now.
Oh, Arizona. Okay.
Because, that was before the tournament because then we go out and beat them in the tournament to follow.
Really? Well, 5? Holy cow. Okay. Well, I have bad sources.
That's why I've got to think like Texas has probably been the number 1 team in the country at least once coming out in Fieldhouse. But usually KU's the higher ranked team in that.
Well, obviously.
But Arizona, you get in a couple weeks. Would you rather play them undefeated at home as a number 1 team or have them slip up between now and then?
Undefeated because they think,
negative on Texas. Wow.
And then
all right, now, so you have to post the 5 times. You have to post the 5 teams that have been the number 1 team in the country.
Honestly, I think we can get Arizona. We can get them off their feet. If they come in undefeated. But I don't know. That's just
I'd rather play them undefeated too because it'll be a bigger win if it happens.
It's a bigger win if it happens, and it's we expect this kind of loss if that happens. So in a way, it's kind of like a win-win no matter what if they come in undefeated. So I'll take it.
KU's next 5, you got BYU this weekend, Texas Tech Monday on the road. Then you host Utah next Saturday. Terrible Utah team. Should be easy. Hopefully it's not one of those lookover games because you've got Arizona coming up. But Utah at home, and then, of course, big Monday, February 9th, Arizona at home, and then go that weekend to Iowa State.
Oh, no.
So big 5-game stretch here. 4-1 would be fantastic. I think 3-2 is good.
I genuinely think we go 4-1, and the one loss is at Texas Tech. I feel it in my heart. That's what's going to happen. And
which is the tougher road matchup, Texas Tech or Iowa State? Which is tougher?
100% Tech. It's not even a question to me. We
Yeah.
beat Iowa State already. I understand it was at home. We beat that team already. I mean, we've played them. We know all we have to do
I
is
think
watch our
I'd say
film.
Tech too, just
Yeah.
because of how we've looked recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We seem to match up well with TJ Otzelberger somehow.
Yeah, I don't know what our problem's been at Texas Tech, but having been to that arena before, I mean, when that place is full, I mean, it is a pretty good environment. So I'll give it.
If you go 4-1, then you've got at Oklahoma State, which you should dominate. Should. I know we struggled there too at times, and then you've got Cincinnati at home. So you go 6-1 in that stretch.
Adam.
Zone drop another one
next Monday, okay?
That's not a typo, you guys. That's not a typo.
Oh, yeah. That's something that started. It started like a year and a half ago, and I don't know. It just made its way around, and now everybody knows. It's
Austin Teckert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, you've been pretty good about
pick.
making sure your Texas Tech fandom second the last couple of years.
Well, KU comes first. I can't root against my alma mater, so.
I do like Tech's program,
Yeah.
like just objectively speaking, taking myself out as a Kansas fan. I love Tech's program, and I think Grant McCaslin's a fantastic head coach, and they've got a great system going there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a tough team to play all the time. Texas Tech as a whole, I mean, football and basketball right now, they are just they're on a roll with building their programs up.
It's the oil money, man, and I know a lot about it.
It's a real thing. Hey, how do they say oil from back home? Is it oil?
Just oil.
They get the oil in there. The oil.
I mean, maybe with an accent. All right, let me go pump some oil. Some oil.
So anyway, as I was saying, you go 6-1 in that stretch, and then you've got Houston, Arizona State, Kansas State at the end of the year. You're talking 4 Big 12 losses. That's got to put you. I mean. Arizona's going to lose something. They're going to lose something. They have to. Well, shoot. I don't know if we beat them, but like I think you'll take that. I mean, honestly, I hate saying this, and I've said this the last couple of years, but it was brought up on another episode of somebody's podcast. Maybe it was on Sports Talk Radio earlier in the week. But since the 14-year streak was ended, like I've been able to get my mind to get around that it's not crucial to win the Big 12 title because the bigger picture is what comes after that.
Yep.
So going 13-5 in Big 12 play and not winning the Big 12, you would still feel really good with, considering how deep the Big 12 is, setting you up for a top 4 seed come March, and then of course a deep tournament run. But this is a nasty stretch the next 5 games. I do like our chances though. I feel a lot of confidence with how this team is built, with or without Darryn Peterson. Honestly, like they have literally shown they've gotten better the last couple of weeks. So feel pretty good with it.
The one thing I do like about this 5-game stretch, so we have 4 days of rest and practice in between each Saturday and Monday stretch that we have, or I guess both of them. So I do like that. It's like, the way that the schedule was last year, it seemed like we were playing a game like every 2 days almost. So I think
that was just how brutal the season was as a whole. It felt like it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, we have to watch this team lose again.
That was ridiculous. I will say this though, this 4-game, winning streak that we're on right now, it's definitely changed my thoughts on this year's team. After the West Virginia game, we were kind of talking about it. We didn't think that this team was going to be, that great this year. After that, looking at, our chances of winning the Big 12 regular season title, we're all thinking like, oh yeah, it's over.
Not a shot.
There's no way we come back from this. And I jumped the gun on that. I said, Kansas pretty much, they're not going to win the Big 12 regular season title because, losing to UCF and West Virginia is going to come back to haunt you. So,
which is very well good.
They've got a shot. I'll give it to them, and I might be wrong. So I hope I am. But at the same time, I mean, losing both of those games, either way, it's is going to hold us back. And I think it's a lot harder to win the regular season title when you're playing, from behind the entire time. So
we should be undefeated in the Big 12, you guys. We should be undefeated. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I have a hot take. I mean, if Jamie Dixon was a better coach, I think we would have lost to TCU.
Yeah,
shots fired.
I mean, it's just like he took out his best players at the wrong time towards the end of that game.
Didn't utilize his timeouts.
Damn.
It's just a hot take. I'm glad we won that game. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying we should have lost if Jamie Dixon only could coach better.
So here's another crazy stat I've been starting to pay attention to. And obviously this could change with Darryn back consistently, but as Bryson Tiller continues to get better, KU has a legitimate chance at having all 5 starters averaging double figures. I don't know off the top of my head the last time that has happened. All 5 starting,
if ever,
all 5 starters have averaged double figures. I'm pretty confident either the 04-05 team with Simeon, Miles, Langford, or maybe the 03-04. Probably the 01-02 team could have been with Gooden, Collison, Heinrich, Simeon, Miles. Very well could have been. But, I mean, that's impressive. 5 guys in double figures in your starting lineup. Because, again, that's just not very typical of a Bill Self team in general to have – the ball spread out that much offensively. I know that some of these numbers are skewed with Darryn only playing half the season, but the starters look just really good. And, it does kind of suck that you're not getting that much off the bench right now points wise, especially as the rotation shrinks. But if the starters are putting up 70 points a game between the 5 of them, you are more than capable of winning every game on your schedule.
Dude, Bob's in the comments asking if we did this in 2020 or 2012.
But
that would have been
on with the Robinson. I don't think Relaford would have been averaging 10. Who's the starting 2 guard? Why am I going blank? Would have been Elijah?
I think it would have been Elijah.
It would have been Elijah?
Yeah.
Elijah might have. I don't think that team would have had all 5. I don't think Travis Relaford ever averaged 10 plus. I don't think 08 did either because Sasha and Darnell switched off halfway through the year.
I do remember that
Russell Robinson was averaging 10.
The 2011-2012 season was my first season as a fan of KU basketball, and we lost to Kentucky both in the Champions Classic and in the National Championship.
Oh, here you go. 2017, 2018. All 5 starters. Devontae averaged 17.3, Svi 14.6, Malik 14.2, Udoka 13, LeGerald Vic 12.1. So you don't have to go as far back as I thought. Then they almost did it Ochai's freshman year.
Wow.
They had 4. Got close in 2020.
Did we come close in the national championship?
2020, 2021 also got really close. Ochai, McCormick, Jalen, and Marcus Garrett all averaged above 11, and Christian Brown had 9.7. So they were right there. National championship year, you had 4 because DeJuan and Remy split time, and Remy did not average 10 points that year.
Wow. Hey, all those years where we did spread the ball turned out to be pretty good years.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wow. Even Jalen Wilson, Grady Dick, Kevin McCullough, KJ all averaged north of 10, and DeJuan averaged 8.9. So that team was close.
Wow.
I do sometimes go back and think about that team because I really liked KJ at the 5. I know he was undersized, but they just had a great pick and roll, pick and pop. Yeah, 07, 08 was close. Sharon was right there. No, that's wild. Only 2 teams in my quick search since 2010 that I went back so far to find. But I do think that the farthest I can go back on ESPN is 2002, 2003. They had 4. Aaron Miles had 8.9, so that doesn't cut it. Not 03, 04. 04, 05, not there either. Dang, Wayne Simeon averaged 20 points that year. I forgot about that. 2006, 2007 was close. Darrell, Arthur, and Sharon both averaged just under 10. So that's cool. That's a impressive stat line. But that's all I got. I don't have anything else unless you guys have something else you want to touch on.
Nah.
I think as we'll look at schedule, definitely we'll obviously talk KU basketball next week because you have 2 big games between now and next time we record. But need to touch on some KU football with the transfer portal as we start to get close to spring ball and start talking about that. And then, of course, maybe talk some Chiefs off season. Love to do that. But yeah, oh yeah, what a squad right there. Gooden, Kenny Gregory, Carlson, Heinrich, and Boshi. Yeah, that's a squad. 2000, 2001. I wish I would have been a couple years older during that stretch so I could really have enjoyed watching the 01-02 team because I have no memory of them going to the Final Four. I remember watching the Final Four game, but I remember every game of the 02-03 season. That was for me when KU basketball really took off in my I was 7, 8, 9 by then.
I was just born.
Were you even alive? Yeah, you were just
any
born.
of that.
Just born.
Austin was in diapers. Literally.
Early 2000s. Those were some squads right there. But all right, we'll end it there. Big weekend ahead. Looking forward to this matchup. AJ versus Darryn. AJ versus DP to get into the acronyms there. 1A versus 1B. Fight for the number 1 draft pick to go to the worst team in the NBA next year.
Oh.
That's always one thing that cracks me up about draft talk is you're fighting to go number 1 to go to the worst team in the league. Usually. It's not always the case. I know Dallas, got the number 1 pick this last year and they weren't the worst team, but usually means you're going to a bad franchise, but that is what is potentially on the line this weekend, as well as jockeying for a position in the Big 12. So looking forward to that. Between now and then, have fun watching KU the next couple games. It's going to be a good time, and we will check in with you guys on the flip side of this 2-game stretch. Rock chalk.
Rock chalk.